Oh, okay.
Is that all right with you?
Yeah.
All right.
That's fine.
All right, we're going to talk about. We are three guys talking about some football shit.
Let's do it.
Yeah, Patriots again caught videoing the Bengals sideline because that's really going to help. The Patriots beat the fucking Bengals. The Bengals.
Yeah.
That's what this whole issue is about, dude. I don't give a shit what they were videotaping. They weren't getting anything from it. Now let's call it. Let's call it what it is. Some dude didn't know what the fuck he was doing. He had the camera pointed the wrong direction. What are you going to gain? What are you going to gain from videotaping a sideline during practice? For one, they're talking about they're stealing signals. When the fuck has football used signals? When's the last time they've done that?
About 7 years ago, right after the last Spygate.
Oh gosh!
But some would say the Patriots shouldn't be punished at all because videoing the Bengals is his own punishment.
It was terrible, dude. It was. I mean, because me and Miles, we were talking before you got on here. What exactly they got in trouble for, and the only thing I could really find was the two instances, Deflategate and Spygate.
Mm-hmm.
That is correct, right?
Yes.
Yeah. There's let's see. Yeah, I think it's it. I thought there was one more in there, but I guess they all blur together after a while.
Yeah.
And each one was a slap on the wrist.
Yeah, lost of draft picks, really.
I mean, what is that? When did they use the draft picks for anything?
Yeah.
Name the last.
Down.
You know what I mean? Name the last draft pick that you're like, oh, New England Patriots.
No, I couldn't tell you.
No, there you could not.
Yeah, they take all third-round guys if they could get them.
Yes, and Bill. I was telling Adam that Bill Belichick doesn't play a very good stupid person. He's a pretty smart guy, and putting him on the podium and just making him look like a dumbass isn't working very well for the Patriots, in my opinion. I know it's all going to float over in this news cycle. I mean, we all forget about Robert Kraft just in his naughty nature not long ago, and I mean the team is run by scoundrels. So this is not surprising on my end by them, and I think that they're going to continue to do this, and probably other teams do it as well. Who knows? The person on top is always going to have the most attention to them.
Well, it's like the old saying goes. I mean, the first person to get caught is usually not the first one to do it. So I agree with you completely there. And I love the descriptor that you use as well. So, the more you listen to them talk and try to put these statements out and get ahead of it, I mean, they have just completely shoved the table away to try to put so much distance between them and everybody involved. These guys are independent contractors. They have nothing to do with the football operation. I mean, almost verbatim to the statement is like, not us, not us, not us, not us, not us. Well, this guy had a Patriots shirt on, but he's not us. And I think it's all over nothing, honestly. For once, I actually believe the Patriots on this.
Yes, I do too, and I hate to admit that. I don't even like saying it out loud or shaking my head
a little bit.
I just vomited in my mouth a little.
I mean, it was for the press box, man. I mean.
That's where this kind of behavior, though, on the people that did have anything to do with catching the last, this kind of behavior of pointing at every little thing the Patriots do, it makes you hard to believe that they may have done the other things. It's just it's not good. I don't like the way that it's been done. First of all, anybody with any common sense, it's the Bengals, like you said, it's the fucking Bengals.
God.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's, and the story as it was read to me, I was listening to podcasts and things today to try to get caught up on the way home. And as it was read to me was that there was the guy who was the Bengal staffer sitting the row behind the guy videoing in the press box. And he was just kind of letting it go to see where it went. Obviously, he knew they were with the Patriots because they're credentialed. And he just let a video for a while. And then there was the thought posed like, okay, well, if it wasn't the Patriots, if it was another team doing it, wouldn't you think the guy would be like, hey, buddy, hey, that's not allowed up here. That's something you can't do, and would have shut it down. But because it was the Patriots, the guy wanted to see where it was going to try to get that big fish on the end of the fish.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That sums it up right there.
Nice try, Bengals. You still suck.
See, the thing is, with all this going down, do you think that even distracts them whatsoever from anything? Are they that, that thick-skinned?
This weekend.
All right. They're going what? What was that?
They're going to beat the piss out of them this weekend.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree.
That's it.
Yeah. But
let's
so
say it all together. Goddamn Patriots.
Goddamn Patriots. So do you think they're going to go to the playoffs then? As a wild? No. No, because of the Bills and everything, you know.
Oh man, I'm starting to wonder. I mean, I think the Patriots are going to get in. I think they're looking more like a wild card. They don't have the offense to scare anybody. They don't have the offense to catch up. I mean, if the defense doesn't get them out to a 14-point lead early on, they have a hard time in making up the ground, as you've seen the last couple times that they've been out and played. They're probably going to still win the division with me saying that, and then be like a 3 or a 4 seed. But I think they're going to not having that first round bye could be big for them this year. They've had a first round bye every year since 2009 was the last time they didn't have one, when they lost the Ravens in the playoffs. So it's almost 10 years that they've had a first round bye. It could be the difference in them going to the Super Bowl or not, which hopefully they don't.
Yes, I agree with that.
I mean, they don't have any. Well, I mean, their running games went to shit. Their defense isn't nearly like what it's always been. That's one thing that not many people believe, admitted about the Patriots, is how good their defense has always been over the years.
Yes,
it's just been kind of the quiet, unsung hero because of fucking Tom Brady and whoever the
opportunistic.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be interesting to see who comes out on top in that division, because the Bills, they're not done.
They're not done. No.
They're definitely not done. I really was hoping that they were going to pull it off this past weekend, but the Lamar Jackson is Lamar Jackson. But it is what it is. So
Lisa.
Nice. Went to a 4-piece just like that.
Yeah.
Love it. No, it's good late season drama, which you don't usually have in the AFC East.
No, especially, I mean, that's usually sewed up within like 4 or 5 games that go in the season.
It's boring.
Yeah, it's been a boring ass league.
It's boring. Same old team. It reminds me of the 80s and 90s. The 49ers were in it every year, and then you had the Bills that were in it every year. That 4 years of the Bills, that was awful. I hope no team ever goes back to the Super Bowl 4 years in a row like that again.
Yes.
Patriots are close.
The Patriots.
But, dude, I walked in. I got to tell you guys this. So living here in Atlanta, I have great pride in talking shit about the Falcons and telling everybody how much they suck, how great the Titans are. I don't do it very often because the Titans are usually not to that point where you can compare it so lopsided. But I went into work this last week, and I'm like, y'all hear that sound? That's the Titans knocking on the door. I really believe at 8-5. At 8-5, I can tell the world these guys are going to conquer all. They're going to win the division. They're going to the playoffs. They look like the real deal. It's
absolutely
fantastic.
I agree 100%. And I tell you what's going to keep them away from Houston even looking like anything is the running game. Houston has no running game, none.
Yes.
And their passing game right now, it's the short game. They don't have much of one because DeAndre Hopkins can catch anything, but he's doubled every game. So he's not really going to make a threat down the road. And then without a running game, and Will Fuller is hurt, I hear, as well. So there's no deep threat. So I don't see how they stand a chance. I really don't.
And also, Tennessee's defense is ranked number 5th in run defense since like the 7th game of the season.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yeah. Houston, I don't see Houston having much of a chance at home. Now, I mean, I never know which way that game's going to go when it comes to those fucking games. Our division's so messed up as far as I can never call it.
Yep, Rock'em Sock'em Robots. But I mean, it's really curious about Houston's running game because they got Carlos Hyde and then there's the other back. Who is that? Is it Johnson? They traded for Johnson.
Yes.
From the Browns, and they have 2 guys that should be able to run it, and they've got a decent offensive line. And for whatever reason, their scheme just doesn't really allow them to use the running game effectively, and it puts so much pressure on Watson. I think you don't know what team's going to show up. Is it going to be the team that beat the Patriots or the team that got boat raced last week? I mean, there's just no way to tell. And with a team like that, if they lose this weekend to the Titans and then Tennessee wins the next weekend, they pretty much have locked it up. I mean, at that point, you're having to really kind of dig down into the tiebreakers and points scored, division record, those kind of things, if they finish for the same record at the end of the year. But basically, these next 2 out of 3, if Tennessee wins, locks it up. I think they have a really good opportunity this weekend to beat Houston.
Yes. I wouldn't put any money on Tennessee. I feel like they've let me down in certain times, and they don't have a great record of consistency. But other than to let you down, I suppose.
Right.
But no, I think it's exciting that they've got basically 3 games left, and 2 of them being Houston. I think it's going to be in their favor. But I feel almost the same as when we talked about it before. If we can just continue to use Derrick Henry in the fashion that he's using, there's no stopping.
But here's the thing: the problem with using Derrick Henry, with as much as they've been using him, he's hurt right now. How much more are you going to push him into the playoffs? Because I mean, he's got that quad injury or his hamstring injury.
He's not hurt.
Yeah, he is.
I think it's kind of a rest thing. I mean, they've been giving him like a day or 2 off practice every week the last couple weeks, and then he shows up and he's kind of doing the Steve McNair thing where he doesn't practice all week, takes a nap on the training bench before the game, and then shows up and balls out. So I don't think it's going to be a huge deal, and I hope I didn't just jinx him, but I think it's more just about getting him rest because they understand the way that they need to use him late in the season based on what he did last year too. Well,
I mean, him and Vrabel both admitted, out of that last game of the Raiders, that he was playing through an injury, that he was playing through the hamstring injury.
Right. Well, I think he'll continue to play through it, and maybe
I agree.
Deion Lewis.
That would be nice to utilize him a little bit. I mean, unless he's just forgotten how to play football.
Yeah, I think Tannehill could do some things with him. He just hasn't really given. He hasn't been given an opportunity to do that.
No,
dude, that fucking interception that he threw and then completely, annihilated that guy. That was great. That was, way to own up to your mistake by making the tackle, and
that's
not just a tackle, dude.
Moment.
Like a water boy fucking tackle. Like it was
Bobby Boucher.
Dude,
absolutely.
It was fucking it was great. I was just like, all right. At first, like, God damn it. This dude, that tackle, I was like, hell yeah, dude.
Interception worth throwing.
Yes, exactly. Just to see that happen. I thoroughly enjoyed that. That was great.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. So, how about all right, so have y'all watched anything today about the Earl Thomas thing?
No.
All right, he came out. All right, so he came out today, or in some kind of
out.
Well, no, he didn't come. Maybe I should really think this through before I come out and say it.
I'm not certain where you're headed with this.
No, he was in the locker room talking to the media about how the NFL really needs to pay more attention and protect Lamar Jackson.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah, I did hear about that.
Yes, that's all I was getting at.
I did hear some of the debate about it. So, Lamar Jackson obviously runs at a much higher clip than most quarterbacks do. And there's still a slight inclination, although once you get outside the pocket and then beyond the line of scrimmage, you are treated as a running back or a runner by the letter of the rules. There's a huge contingent of people that feel like he should still be afforded some kind of protections. I guess Earl Thomas felt like it's a little unfair that defensive players are now going at his legs more. And then Lamar Jackson, during a press conference, actually came out. A reporter asked him, he's like, do you feel like defenders are going at your legs more when you run? And he said, yeah, I do. Didn't hesitate at all. Just basically said that. So, a lot of people are just like, well, should that be allowed? Should he be able to go at the legs? I'll give you guys a chance to weigh in here, but I'll tell you right now, absolutely. If you're going to run, you're a runner. You don't get extra protections. I think Earl Thomas is biased because it's his teammate. Obviously, if they go from Lamar Jackson to RG3, the whole season changes in an instant. So I get it, but at the same time, he has to be treated like every other player because the other alternative is to abstain from running completely and just be a pocket quarterback. So if you're going to take that risk, I think that there needs to be the risk there. Otherwise, everybody else would do it.
I agree 100%. And I also feel as though you're never going to get any special treatment as a quarterback if your name is not Tom Brady. So he might as well just get past this and move on and decide that, and everyone should, because a runner is a runner. For football's sake, I hope that they sit him and they don't let him play and he's 100% from the playoffs. And I hope that it's a magical show of 46-48 to whoever he plays every time they play, because I just love it. But I I think that is the best way to protect him. But to go so far as to start saying treat him with some kind of special rules when it comes to running or even in the pocket or whatever, no, nothing of that sort should work out for him. It is the way it is, and it's that way, and it should stay that way.
Yeah, otherwise it's the NBA.
No, I don't. You know, how can you show any kind of favoritism? I mean, as soon as you leave the pocket, you're open. It's open season.
Yes.
As soon as you leave, as long as he's in the pocket, he should get all the protections that a quarterback should get.
No more.
As soon as you, no more, but no less. As soon as you leave that pocket, you're not a quarterback anymore. You're a runner with the ball. You're going to get hit. This
is the game.
But here's my thing about the Jets game coming up. Should they play him?
Play him a quarter, maybe two. I mean, it's the Jets. I don't know exactly what their standing is. Who's chasing them in the division? The Steelers.
Yeah. No, they're pretty much. I think they're.
The Jets are done, I believe.
Oh yeah, the Jets are.
Yeah,
Is that what you're talking about?
The Ravens.
No.
Oh, the Ravens.
No, the Ravens got locked up, I believe.
Yeah, they're clinched.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
For the playoffs?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, the only thing they have left to do is just playoff seeding to try to get the one or the two and get the bye week. And I think so their direct competition would be Kansas City, New England at this point. I don't think the Titans could catch either one of those.
No.
So, yeah, with 3 games left in the season, I think you need to win this one to give yourself a shot because the Patriots have 4 losses and Kansas City might
they have 3.
4.
They have 3.
Patriots have 3. Kansas City has 4.
Yeah.
Okay. So really, you just need to win this week, and then you've got either the 1 or the 2 seed. And unless you're going to try to get cocky and try to go for home field advantage, I think they should rest him after this week.
I don't think they should play him this week just because I don't trust Greg Williams.
That's a good point. Didn't think about that.
Yeah, dude. I don't trust. I just don't. And he's already kind of hurt. Well, he's not hurt. He's just wore down right now. He's been taking a lot of hits because, dude, he's been running the ball. But I think they're going to play him. But I think it's going to be more his decision. You know, I think he's going to want to play. He's going to want to have that stellar season, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, he's on track to break all kind of records. I mean, and I know football players say, well, it's all what's best for a team. Oh, fuck off. No, it ain't. You want your fucking stats. You want your records. Don't bullshit.
Yeah, stats generate contract numbers.
And
Absolutely.
I feel a little weird telling them to rest. I've never been one to say that. I've never been for resting, but I just appreciate the talent. You know what I mean? This guy's a special talent, and I'd like to see him play as long as he can.
I agree.
Me too.
You know, the special talent is very rare, especially if you play for Dallas or Philly. Sake, dude.
Man, that game, that Philly game was hard to watch the other night. Dallas seems like they're hard to watch every week.
Yes.
But, you know, when I watched, and I didn't watch all of that game, but what I did watch, I was like, all right, cool. Peyton's doing something. That was about it. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
My apologies.
Eli, it was fun to see him in there. Some people feel like he should get kind of a one last stand, start the last 3 games. I feel like he's had that shot already, but you know, he played good for a couple of quarters and then they changed the game plan. So just kind of shows the dysfunction of the Giants. And I was really surprised that Philadelphia let him get up like that. Even more surprising that they were able to come back after, you know, laying a duck in the first half. So somebody's got to win that division. That's all I'm going to say about that.
I think it's going to be Philadelphia. I really do. I mean, the Cowboys, when is the last time? Can we say any good things about them in the postseason? Can we say anything good about the Cowboys in the postseason?
No.
Within this decade or
no.
this century? I don't think we can. I think that Philadelphia is a ugly team. I think they win ugly, and they're going to continue to do that, I think, because they get their momentum somehow during this time of the year. I don't know what it is, but it works for them. And I believe that they'll surpass the Cowboys. I really do. Looking at the schedule, I think they're favored too, because I think the Cowboys play the Rams next, and that's they have all
at the Rams.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that's yes. So that right there shows me that I'm pretty sure they're going to lose that game.
Who are they going to throw to? They're out of receivers. They were about to
Yep.
put. I'm not kidding when I say this. They were about to put Josh McCown in at receiver at the end of that game if they had to drive down one more time because they were out of guys to throw the ball to. They have nobody, and I don't think they can pick anybody up off the street short of Antonio Brown, which I don't think is going to happen. I don't know that they're going to win the division. I think that it's just going to be they're going to regress too much to be able to make up the difference, and I would feel like Dallas of the two would pull this out, but. It is Dallas, so none of it know, especially the people that work there.
Yes, the stories I hear about them and how like this Garrett is going to still be there. Have you heard this? As the rumblings of Jerry Jones? I mean, he's saying still that this guy's going to be coaching. I don't know. I don't know.
No way. There's no fucking way.
If he still is after the end of this year, then there's going to be a lot of people that will not be Cowboys fans, I think. I mean, come on.
It's disgusting, man.
It is. It's really just mediocre, and like the Bengals, man. That too. This level of mediocrity. It's crazy. I don't know
why do teams clutch so hard? I mean, white knuckle hold on to mediocrity. I mean, you want to go back and use the Titans as a perfect example. Jeff Fisher for years and years and years, and then he went to the Rams, and he had 5 seasons of the Rams where they did dick, not even balls, but just dick. And he was there year after year after year, and there was no threat to his job until the last season when he pissed off Eric Dickerson. I don't know how that factors in anything, but there's a lot of these teams. I mean, the Bengals were a perfect example for years, and they just don't want to get rid of these coaches that year in year out win 8 games a year, 9 games a year. Maybe they'll have one losing season mixed in. It just boggles the mind. You got to take a risk, and Jason Garrett is the quintessential non-risk of a head coach. That's my Jason Garrett right there.
What has he ever done?
This.
I mean,
I guess he's good for whatever Jerry Jones needs him for, but he ain't much of a football coach.
No, Jerry Jones is the coach. Fucking Garrett's just a puppet.
More or less at this point. And it never changes year in, year out. There's always you have all this talent that he goes out and overpays and trades for. And I mean, they do have legitimately good players on the team, both sides of the ball. And for whatever reason, just underperforming big games, big moments, can't beat a winning team. I don't think they beat a winning team this year. I've heard that a few times. And I think still at this point at 6-7, they're still upside down against teams with a winning record. And I mean, in that division, there's just no excuse for that.
No. There's not many other options. I'm not some professional eye here, but you don't have to be to see that this is a coaching issue in Dallas. I mean, that's just what it is, up and down. 100%. You can't have people like the highest paid running back in the world playing on this team that seemingly can't get into the playoffs year after year and blame it on anybody other than the coach and Jerry Jones, because like we already stated, he is the coach.
We could go on and on. I will say this, though. I think, the solution in Dallas is easy. You want a coach to come in there like a Bill Belichick or even Bill Parcells. I thought that was a good move way back when, but Parcells was kind of at the end and wasn't really interested, didn't really put, I don't think, everything into the job. And Jerry Jones is always going to want to be the person in front of the camera after every game, every practice. He wants to, get the entertainment dollars and the value for it and the sponsorship deals and things like that. So he always has to be number one front and center. And that I think is more important to him than having a winning football coach. Despite whatever he says, he knows what the checks look like that are coming into the bank. Mm-hmm. And win or lose, Dallas Cowboys are still one of the most profitable sports franchises in all of American sports. And I think him, being 10-6 versus 6-7 or whatever the case may be for them, he doesn't really care. He's still getting paid.
I believe that.
All right, let me ask you this: what team? All right, in my opinion, the Packers are a 10-3 team, and they are not a team that should be 10-3. They're leading their division right now at 10-3. Have you heard shit about them? Because I haven't heard a damn thing about them.
Not really, but I mean, isn't that the perfect scenario if you're the Packers?
Yes.
Yes, it is. It is.
Yeah, it's a good thing for them. I don't know. I haven't looked into what they've got up facing. Does anybody know what they're doing over the next 3 games?
I'm looking it up right now.
I mean, they've been good.
They got the pay. No, that's already happened. Sorry. No, they got the Bears, and then they're at the Vikings next month. Next Monday, they're at the Vikings.
Yeah, I know that they didn't. I didn't think they would have something easy the last 3 games.
Well, they got the Bears, and then they got the Vikings, and they have the Lions. So
Any three of those teams could beat them, I believe. I mean, I don't think they're susceptible to being beat by any three of those teams.
Vikings are going to lose because it's a Monday night game and Cousins can't play at night.
Yeah.
He hasn't won a game at night yet.
Jeez, that's terrible. He has got some terrible statistics, man.
Yeah, that's one of them. That's one of them right there. Yeah, he's never won a game with a PM started. Well, maybe like 3, but yeah, none in the evening or Monday nights.
Wow.
They're talking about him being an MVP candidate this year, so it's really kind of interesting that you could still be an MVP candidate, although not a serious one, like a number 4 or 5 out of the list guy, and not be able to win these big games. But Minnesota could surprise some people. You never know what's going to happen, and that'll be a big game that'll determine a lot of, if Minnesota winds up winning that game, that could be a home playoff game for them.
Oh, definitely. But yeah.
They could win it too, I believe. I mean, I think that Dalvin Cook running the ball looks great, and their defense is fine. But Cousins just isn't. I will see. I think it's all on his shoulders. To be honest with you, I think all the other pieces are there. It's up to him.
Dude, he's like a slightly better version of Bortles.
Ooh.
I said slightly. Oh yeah, I went there. That's exactly where I went. But yeah, dude, because he's the same type player. He's not going to win you the fucking game. He's not going to win it, but he'll lose it for you. That's what Cousins is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an unknown.
So that's Dallas for Philly. So what was the consensus on that?
I'm sticking with Philly.
Yeah, I think Dallas can do it. It's going to be close. I mean, either one's going to lose first round.
Yeah, that's it. First round, no further.
I'm giving it to Philly, even though I don't believe in Carson though.
No, I don't either. But there's some kind of weird underdog spirit that Philly has that I feel like they might be able to summon over these next little bit. We'll see.
Did any of y'all watch the San Francisco game?
Yes, the Saints San Francisco game.
I wish I did.
Yes, I did, and I loved every minute of it. And
Mike?
I wish football was like that week in and week out.
Dude, it was like watching a fucking Rocky movie. It was fucking great. Like, dude, if boxing was like Rocky, I'd fucking watch it.
Yes,
that's the way I felt about that game the other night, dude. And what sucks is I watched most of it, but I had to listen to the end of it because I had to go to practice. But yeah, it was great.
I've seen the George Kittles play like about 50 times. And I mean, I saw the box score and the stats are eye popping. I mean, they were back and forth. When you have two teams like that are a lot of times when you have these really high scoring games like this, it's usually two bad teams with two bad defenses that are just trying to outslug each other. And you usually don't have the number 1 and number 2 seed in the conference duking it out like this. I really want to see this again in the playoffs.
Yes,
because I didn't see it the first time. But I mean, it looked like it was a hell of a game and a hell of an ending. Great way for it to finish.
It was, dude. It was a great game, dude.
Overtime would have been better.
Yes, right. Exactly. No, you're absolutely right, dude. But it was a really good game. I enjoyed it. It was, like I said, dude. It's what you watch it for. It's games like that is why you watch it.
I can't get mad at those games. I hear people on, especially talking heads from time to time saying that how there's no defense in this game and they get upset. I'm sorry, but isn't it sometimes that we just have better offenses and it just is that way? And, the defense isn't necessarily terrible. The offense was better and on both sides. And that's what happened. And this happened last year. Who was it? Kansas City and I think it was Kansas City and New Orleans last year that was like 52-49 or some shit like that.
It
was
Kansas City Rams game. It was like that.
That's what it was. The Rams in Kansas City. Yes. And that's fun. And in that game, there was actually 3 defensive touchdowns, I think, as well. So, I mean, to say that there was no defense, and it makes me mad because I think that games like that should be celebrated like we're doing right now. Not said something negative about it with some squandering defense comment.
Well, these same people that say, "Oh, defense wins championships," and the 48-46, there's no defense, and it's just not football anymore. Those people are the same people that turn the TV off when it's a 10-7 ball game in rainy weather and they can't throw the ball because everyone else also turns the TV off during those games because those games suck.
Yep.
No one watches them. It's boring, and people are sitting around with their fantasy football teams in the balance, and no one's putting up any points, and it's frustrating. And then, you wind up having your audience lose interest, which is not what you want. The NFL is an entertainment industry, and the entertaining thing is people going 90 yards down the field in 3 plays, or scoring with a minute left. And I mean, all the stuff that you had in that Saints 49ers game the other day. And that's what they want it to be. So be it. I mean, if the defense can't really stop them, if it's going to have to come down to one play on the defense to try to stop the team that's 46 from becoming 49, I mean, that's where we're headed. That's where we're already at.
Yep.
And there was defense in that game despite the score.
Yes.
There was plenty of defense. And dude, they did. It was a good job. I mean, it was a really good game.
It was.
So,
I hope that there are many more like it in the playoffs, because we have, with the 49ers, the Ravens, the Saints, these are teams that should provide us with plenty of excitement with high scores like that. And Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay every week. Tampa Bay, Jameis Winston, I threw 4 touchdowns and 3 interceptions like every single week. The guy didn't have a single zero in the stat line. He just covers all his bases.
Covers all his bases.
But teams like this, it's really good. One of the best games I've ever seen. I'll always remember this because I remember watching the game just going, damn, oh damn, like over and over again. Was 2009's playoff game. It was Kurt Warner. I think it was his last season, next to last season. And no, it was his last season. He was playing against the Packers in like the wild card round, and they were just boom, 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 over and over, scoring over and over. And that was the game where Mike McCarthy at the end, there was the defensive play for a touchdown that won the game in overtime. McCarthy like falls to his knees and kind of does like the cobra of defeat. And I mean, that's one of the best games you could ever see. So to have a couple of those in the playoffs this year would be amazing.
I'm praying.
Where do you think McCarthy ends up next year?
I don't know. 2 weeks ago, I think I brought it up here, but 2 weeks ago, I thought he might be a candidate for one of these really fledgling teams, maybe even like the Panthers, who obviously want to go more offensively. But I don't know. The more I'm kind of seeing the stuff that's out there in the last couple weeks, I'm not 100% sold he's going to get a job.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't either, man. But I agree with that, because the temperament with these people now is young, new, fresh. I want something different. I want Sean McVay. I don't want McCarthy. So I agree with him. I think that it'll be something like that along those lines.
I disagree. I disagree, because look at Kansas City.
They make a good counterpoint.
You're talking about Andy Reid?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, and the thing that's going to hold McCarthy back, and what I'm starting to see a little bit clearer, since the last time I brought it up here was, okay, there was a lot of dysfunction in Green Bay last year. He was let go with game left in the season after being a Super Bowl winning head coach. And that team is not struggling this year. They started out 10-3 with Matt LaFleur, who I will say every day until I quit breathing, I would never hire as a head coach based on what he did with the Titans. It was almost like a lottery pick, twister wheel, I picked this guy type of hire, and still Green Bay is doing Green Bay type things without McCarthy. So,
see, I disagree. I hate to interrupt you, but I think that the whole Matt LaFleur thing was decided before he came here. I think he just came here because he needed – I don't know why. I have no idea why. But I think before he left the Rams, he knew that he was getting a job at the Packers as the head coach.
I mean, it's possible.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it. It's a shady business, man. That's what the Patriots offensive coordinator, what he did to Indianapolis, man. I mean, it's shady, man. I wouldn't feel comfortable sharing my face around at somebody after I did that to them. They got no shame, man.
You're standing next to Belichick. I mean, I'll stop. I could keep going, but we've already talked about the goddamn Patriots.
Fucking Patriots. Yeah. Well, is there anything else y'all want to touch on?
I just want to give Denver their props where they're due, man, because I've talked some trash on them, thrown some shade their way, but they put their rookie quarterback in, and he looked good. So we'll see how it keeps going. I don't know. I mean, it's a little late this season to do anything, but it's fun.
No, they've looked good the last couple weeks. I mean, it's really phenomenal. They've made some decent teams crumble right in front of them. So no, I agree with you. They're one of those end of the year surprises. They'll probably finish like 7 or 8 wins, and a lot of people will be like, man, what if they could have just got going sooner?
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, yeah, because the Kansas City doesn't have that great of a record, and then you got the Chargers, and who else is in that division?
Raiders.
Yes.
Yeah, well,
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Well, cool. Well, I'm going to end the broadcast.
Okay.
Rock and roll.
All right.
I feel like are we off? Is that a
No,
hard out?
no, that's a hard out. I'm working on it.